I just happened to see it at the right time.
Sandul, you're back for the second time, and now you're a realtor.
I am.
My goodness,
And-
what made you go through that transition? Wait, first let me tell everyone who I have here. Sandul is one of the top videographers, I would say, in the Tokyo area. He used to go to people's homes. He'd go to where they live, their apartments or whatever, and he'd just meet them on the street and say, "Can I see your place?" And I mean, this would be a variety of different people, and they would accept it. Now, some people said no, and it didn't deter him one bit. He kept on going, and now he is dealing in real estate, some of the most beautiful places you could ever imagine. How did you decide to get into that?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the introduction and I appreciate you watching my videos.
Oh, I can't help it, man. This
Yeah.
makes me feel so happy. I feel like I know that guy. That's
And I'm
really neat.
So glad to be here for the second time now.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna do this again too after this. When you
Again?
start sending stuff. When you're doing something like Azabu Hills and stuff, and you're getting all the stuff in there.
Let's make it happen.
So what
One
made
day.
what made you decide to change from asking? Do you still do that? Do you
I still do that.
You still go around asking people to get
Yeah,
in
I
their place?
still do that.
I say, what areas do you usually go into?
Sorry?
What areas do you usually go in?
I mean, I go all over the place in Tokyo.
But it's all in Tokyo.
Yeah, all in Tokyo.
Okay.
And one day, maybe.
You might
in
go outside.
Yeah, but for now, it's just me. I do all by myself, so it's just Tokyo for now.
All the editing and everything.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take you? Okay, when you do one, let's take me through the process of doing one.
Okay.
What's it like? So let's say a typical day. Let's say if you went out today, tell me how many misses, how many hits you'd get.
Okay. I'll take you back all the way to level 0. Okay. So this all happened during COVID, even before I was on here on your podcast. 2 years ago, was
Right,
it?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think you came 2021 maybe.
Exactly, yeah. So this is like way before, during COVID, I guess. And we were isolated, right? And then I didn't have any family here. I still don't have any family over here. So I was all by myself, very lonely. All the classes online in my university. But I had this deep desire to connect with people. So, and also I really like making videos. So I got into making these videos about Japan first. Food, the culture, people, travel stuff. Here's what Japan has to offer to you. I did that for a while, but didn't really feel passionate. And I was still lonely, didn't have any friends back then as well, and I couldn't speak the language as well. And again, during the same time, a lot of people, like other creators as well, they started making a lot of different kinds of videos. And I came across this one specific video from a creator in New York, where he toured one of people's apartments in New York and made a video out of that. And then I just happened to see it at the right time. I saw the video, it just really resonated with me. And I was like, wait a minute, I live in Tokyo. It's not just any city, it's Tokyo, one of the biggest cities in the world, right? And I was like, okay, let me do this in Tokyo with Japanese people, and then there's a lot of really nice foreigners living here as well. And the apartments here are very different than what I grew up with in Sri Lanka.
Right.
So that's what got me into it. And then I was like, okay, this can help me to connect with people, 1, to practice my Japanese, 3, I can feel less lonely, and then 4, I can do what I love, making videos, connecting with people. That's what got me into this.
Okay.
And the next day I was like, okay, let's do this in Tokyo. Went out, I was like, excuse me, do you live in Tokyo? For like Japanese people. And I was like pitching them the idea, giving them my elevator pitch. And I haven't had any videos to show them that I've done previously. And you know how Japanese people are, right? Like they're like very conservative, and they're like, no. I was like, okay, this is not working.
After how many? How many no's did you get at the beginning?
Oh, a lot, like 20, 30.
In one day?
A couple of days.
And who were you
I would say.
asking? You probably first started going to girls, right?
Yeah.
And trying to ask them, you figured they'd be the easiest target.
Yeah.
And they were saying no.
Especially girls especially
Now,
no.
now, let me ask you this. Were you speaking to them in English or Japanese?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
And they'd say no.
Yeah. Because some Japanese people could speak English, and some people could not.
Now, you had your camera on a pole.
Yeah.
What were you using, an iPhone?
iPhone.
iPhone,
Right.
and you had it on a extension, and you'd come up to the person like
Yeah.
this, and they'd sit with you the whole time while you're doing this, right? They'd stand with you.
So usually
Okay.
that's how I wanted to do it.
Right.
But I was like, okay, since this is in Japan, since I'm going to be doing it with Japanese people, it is not going to work at all if I have the camera
At the
on
beginning.
at the beginning. So I had to pitch them the idea first.
And see if and then say, okay, we're going to do it like
Exactly.
this, and then set
if
it
they're
up.
okay with
proper.
shooting, and then we do the
Okay.
yeah.
So
box
let's
it up.
fast forward to when you finally got your first one. Was it a guy or a girl?
It was a
you
old guy.
An old guy.
Yeah, an old guy. Very very nice. And
Okay. And he spoke English.
he spoke English.
Okay, so how'd that go? Where was it? In Shibuya?
I met him in Futoku Tamagawa.
Okay.
Again, same way I was just approaching people. He happened to say yes.
Right.
And I was like, thank God. And then we scheduled the time.
How much time was it? The first day, the second day?
I think it was like a week or something.
It took a week.
Yeah. Not
Did
the
you
first-
almost think about giving up and
Oh
saying,
yeah.
You said,
yeah.
what am I? This is not going to work here.
Yeah, because like sometimes it gets to you, you know?
Right. You
Like,
started feeling like it was personal.
it
right?
gets, yeah, you kind of take it
You even
personal,
admit.
especially when you don't have like anyone to talk about anything. I was like, okay. But thankfully he said yes, and then we scheduled up a time and date and a time, and then I went up to his place. It was in Shinjuku. Very nice guy. He showed me around and actually brought me out to coffee as well right after the tour. I was like, thank you very much, man. And it kind of gave me some hope and motivation.
Okay. Right.
So I made that first video, and then also after the video I had something to show to other people. This is what I've done.
Right.
And then I would love to do the same for you as well. So that's how it kind of started.
And then it started. Then
Yeah,
people
it's
said
kinda like
they
snowballed.
could trust you. Yeah, they
Yeah.
saw and they said, "This would I got that," because
Yeah.
they couldn't even imagine what you were talking about. Probably. What do
Yeah.
you mean you want to come in and do what? Or they saw what they do on television here when they go into actor and actresses' homes, and then they sneak in, they look in their drawers and stuff,
Yeah.
and people don't necessarily
I
like
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was one of the most interesting situations you had in doing that? So how many have you done, first of all, up to now?
So far, around 50.
Okay, 50.
Around 50.
So
yeah.
of those 50, how many were really interesting? I mean, not interesting, but tell me some really interesting things that you think, I got to tell somebody about this.
Okay, I will tell you. I don't know if you're gonna like this one, but I'm sure if someone is really into Marvel and superheroes and stuff, they're gonna really appreciate this. I went to this guy's place again, met him at the street, looked very cool. So I was like, okay, hey, what do you do for a living? And then he's Japanese, very young guy. He's around in his early 20s.
Okay.
So we got talking, turned out to be really cool. And again, same way, we scheduled up a date and time, toured his apartment. When I went into his apartment, what I saw was like completely different than the guy I saw at the street. So like when I first in there, the whole apartment, he's very creative with his how he has designed his apartment. So when I first went in there, it's like you're walking into a time machine into like a Marvel world. Like inside his apartment, you can find every single character, the figurines and all the posters and everything. It was beautiful. So if someone likes Marvel, they're gonna really, really appreciate that. So that's one of the very interesting apartments that I've toured so far.
Wow. How big was the apartment? What was it?
It's
2 LDK?
not. It's no. It's 1K. 1K with a
1K?
loft. But
He slept up in the loft?
he slept up in the loft. But what I'm saying is that he's very creative. That's what I love
So it
about
made it
these
look- yeah.
Japanese people. The apartments are small, especially compared to Western countries and even my country. The apartments here are very small, but people gets very creative with their space. So
I would imagine what they do is they give you a lot of food for your mind.
yeah.
So you can go over there and now you have that corner and go
Yeah.
over here, and, whoa, and it just stimulates
Yeah.
you. Is that
So
right?
it kind of gave me like a lot of inspiration, and yeah, I got to learn a lot about myself as well, but just by touring these people's houses and then getting to know these different personalities, because everyone is different. They have a different personality, so it's very cool.
Oh, so give me another one.
I toured this apartment in Minato. The rent was 2 million per month, and I haven't been to any apartments like that before, so this was my first time as well experiencing that.
It was like walking into this club. huh?
When I first in there, there's a really nice lineup of sleepers for the guests to wear inside the house.
And
Not
these
just
are really nice slippers.
very nice slippers, not just any slippers. They're all Gucci and Louis Vuitton for the guests.
Is this guy Japanese?
No, he's a German guy
Okay.
living in Japan.
Okay.
And inside the living room, there's a really big swing, like literally
So
a
he's single.
swing.
He's single.
No. His family has a daughter as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's why the swings. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, for the daughter.
All right.
So it was very nice, and I was again my first time as I was like blown away. I was like, wait, you have a swing inside your house? You have Gucci slippers for the guests? What? So it was nice though, very nice apartment.
How many bedrooms?
It was 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms, yeah.
And it had 2 baths and 1 guest bath. 3 toilets, 2 baths.
No,
For that amount.
2 bathrooms.
That's what I mean.
it,
2
that's it.
bathrooms.
2
But they didn't have the
bathrooms.
guest toilet. They have the guest toilet when you walk in the place. In a place that much, if he's paying $1 million something, I guarantee if you walk in, there's a place where you can go as a guest. It's just a toilet.
Maybe I might have missed that one.
No, that has to be there.
Has to be okay.
In that home here, I'm sure at $1 million something, there's no doubt about it. And if he didn't, he got ripped. You got ripped off.
Yeah.
How high was it? How high up in the floor? What floor was he on?
It was not that high. It was like four,
Oh, 4-story apartment.
4, yeah, 4
Okay.
or 5, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
how
that high
ours.
up.
That's how mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep
So
it
my
low.
question is,
Right.
when are we gonna tour your apartment?
You can. Yeah, that's something we could do. I have that. All my sons live close by me too.
Okay.
They live very, very close.
Okay.
Now, I don't know that I don't know. I should take that back. I don't know that I want anyone to tour my apartment yet, but I can take you there privately. Something you can know on your own.
I would
You'll
love
see
that.
it. Yeah.
I would love that.
I think you'll be pleased. It's not a bad place. It's not a bad place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, my son's in Dakars too. I think I showed that to you before.
Yeah.
And now my second son, like yourself, is into real estate.
Yeah.
Now, how'd you get into that? What made you get into doing real estate? So now he's a real estate broker. This guy is finding places for everyone:
Yeah.
foreigners, Japanese,
I'm
anybody,
amazed.
anybody. How much business have you done? Wait. How long have you been doing this now?
I've been doing this for around half a year now.
Half a year, 6 months. Okay. Have you had any business?
Yeah.
You have?
I've had businesses because yeah. But first, how I got into real estate.
Yes.
Again, through the apartment tour series. So what happened was when I was doing the apartment tours, it kind of like little by little. So again, going back to our conversation earlier, not the goal, but the journey, right? So I was focused on creating videos all by myself, meeting people, going out, getting rejected. And there was one time I even little posters. I made a little poster for the apartment tour series and put on post boxes, hoping that someone would call me.
Where would you go to different places in the city?
Yeah,
Just put 'em in-
exactly.
okay. The place you thought you'd be interested in going to see.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I got 0.
That didn't work.
That didn't work, but I learned. At least I learned, right? By doing
How many
that.
how many did you do? How many?
Like 500 or something.
500 on a place like
But I got 0 from that. Didn't work out. Something for me to learn. But I kept going with the apartment tour series. And then got millions of views, started to grow little by little. And then some real estate companies in Japan, like in Tokyo, they started reaching out to me, asking me to make content with them. So first we did like a collaboration, and then again.
But how? Tell me how. What did they want? Like, what do you mean?
So they want the format. I was the only one who's doing that in Tokyo.
Okay.
So that
Going
format,
into people's apartments.
yeah,
right.
and that format really worked. So they wanted to do a collaboration with me to up their social media game. So we did that. It worked, and then they wanted me to come on board as in.
What do you mean? You'd go to someone, let me see your apartment. It's one of the apartments they were renting out or something, or what? What was it?
So as example, if one of the apartments were listed under their agency,
Right.
we have one of their agents and then me tour their apartments, but the same format.
Got it. So you're saying this is for rent if you guys want it. Got it. And you're doing it.
Exactly.
And they were paying you to do this.
Exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it worked out, and then they wanted me to make videos, like different kind of videos for their social media. So I did that for a while as a freelance social media manager, kind of like that. And then during that time, I kind of grew a little passion towards real estate. I was like, okay, this is fun. And then I also got a lot of inquiries from my people as well, like my audience. asking me to find their homes. But I couldn't help, right? I was not a real estate
That's
agent.
right.
And I felt like, okay, this is the right time. Let me make the move to become a real estate agent. So that's why I started like, went in with the same company and then started becoming an agent. So
that's
now
wonderful.
I'm an agent, half a year. It's been fun.
You've been
Yeah.
having fun. That's good.
It's great.
That is excellent. Where do you see yourself going from here? Are you going to actually try to get further involved in the real estate business, do you think?
I want to get as high up as possible, and I want to help as much people as possible. And also, I got some news for you actually.
Okay, what's that?
I don't know if you remember this. 2 years ago when I was here, this is something that happened thanks to you. I really mean that, yeah. So 2 years ago when I was here last time, we were talking like this. And then you asked me the same question, what I wanted to do with my life. And I was 25 at the time.
So now you're 27.
Now I'm 27.
Okay.
So you asked me the same question, what I want to do in my life moving forward. And I don't know if you remember the answer that I gave you, but I told you like there's a really big gap between the people, like especially the foreigners, who have really made it in Japan and the foreigners who are like way down here.
I remember what you told me. And you said your whole idea is to try to get that information to these people here that don't know how to do this.
Exactly.
That, mentorship or whatever. Get them that information.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is exactly what I said. Right. Oh, you have a great memory.
Yeah, I remember. When you started to cue me a little bit, then I said, yeah, I got that. I remember that.
Yeah. So I started watching that podcast back like many times. And it was very natural for me to say that like we didn't practice anything, it just happened, right?
Right.
I watched the podcast many times and it was kind of like a wake-up call to me as well. And now I recently started my own podcast,
Okay.
interviewing all the entrepreneurs and business owners in Japan, expat business owners. So I'm trying to share their knowledge to all the people out there.
When did you
For
start?
free.
When did you start?
2 months ago.
2 months. How many people have you talked with?
So far 4.
Oh, that's good. In 2 months, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're going to be the next. But yeah, I want to do that again, focus on the journey, doing as much as I can.
Do you have a place that they have to come to, or do you do it in their place? Where do you do the podcast?
I do have my friend's place, so we just basically turned that into a little studio.
The studio.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's been fun. I'm learning a lot as well while I'm interviewing them.
That's. I think it's no matter what you're doing, Sandul, if you're the one doing it, if you're a teacher of music, if you're a teacher of some physical activity, if you're a teacher of economics, you're the one that gets the most information.
Exactly.
If you really do, you learn the most from it. It's just interesting that other people give you energy for you to help them remember the stuff that they want to remember.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So, and I enjoy it. I used to think that way when I work with kids. That's really not fair. They're paying me to learn. But that's what they're doing in a way. But I love it. Oh, and we should do more of it. And the more energy you have, the more you can give out. You can see Mount Fuji almost this morning. I have to move you over to the side and you can see Mount Fuji. It's clear now. Because I can see the hills.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, we have a beautiful view here.
It's stunning.
I do it up here in the American Club on the New York Bridge, they call this. And it's just beautiful. This facility is beautiful. The view we have of the city is beautiful. And we have a 360-degree view if you walk around the other side of the club. And it's a beautiful day today.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? All right, so back to you. So what are your intentions with this? You've been doing this real estate business for like 6 months now. And what do you see going with it? What are some of your aspirations?
For me right now, I'm very focused on being the best agent I can. So I'm doing everything I can to learn and then talk to other people, focus on my content, all the stuff. And then one day in the future, I want to build the brokerage of the future in Tokyo.
There you go.
That's the plan.
So you plan on being here for a long time?
Yeah.
All right.
I've already decided.
Can we get on your social side, or is anything happening there?
What social side?
So you have a social side, like girls, anything happening there?
Dating life? Zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that on purpose?
It is kind of on purpose, but I feel like I don't know how you feel about this one, and I don't know how other people would feel about this. When I first came to Tokyo, I thought dating was very easy. And it was easy.
You thought, okay, it was easy.
It was easy. But as the time went along, when you like get older, your priorities goes like many different things goes towards that, and not just girls. So I feel like if someone wants to date just for the sake of dating, just because they are feeling lonely, it's easy to date here. But if someone is looking for a partner to support your life goals and the vision you have and all those things you're wishing to accomplish in the future, you don't need to just date just anyone just for the sake of dating. So that's where I'm struggling with. It's just very hard to find the right person here. And a lot of people are here on short term. A lot of people go back to their home countries, and that's what I'm struggling with. Yeah.
I see. Well, I find, Sandul, that most people find people that they can work with through their work or through their worship. So some people are very religious or spiritual, whatever it may be, and that's where you'll find people that are usually have a common interest. If it's work, I hope it's something you like doing, because if you have someone there and you don't like what you're doing, and you get a relationship that's not going to be so good.
Yeah. It depends on, again, how you choose to look at the world. If you choose the right one, it's just beautiful. Everything, there's nothing you cannot achieve. It all depends on the lens you put on.
And the only thing that stops you from doing what you may want to do is time.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's distributed evenly to all of us on this spaceship called Earth. If you were to go back into time, Sandul, and give yourself advice based upon what you know now at 27, how old would you be when you gave yourself advice, and what would you tell yourself now? And it's only been 2 years difference. Just show you that everything changes.
For my 25-year-old.
Yeah, your 25-year-old says something to you, but now you're 27. No, not to your 25-year-old. You can go back as far as you want now that you're 27. You have more knowledge now. What age would you choose to go back to, and what information would you give him, if you'd give him any information?
I don't think I would change anything, honestly. The good has happened for the good. The bad has happened, again, for the good. So whatever happened in my life, it shaped me into who I am right now. And I'm very much grateful for who I am today. So I wouldn't really change anything. And I love myself.
That's a great answer, man.
Yeah.
Sandul, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And never forget, it's all on loan, so continue to reach for the stars.
Because you're too blessed to be stressed, and I'll see you for the third time.